be the you are the league manager. You want to give the write up. You want to give the report of what happened in
so
fantasy league over the weekend. I mean, I
continuing the curse.
I can tell you, but
I mean, Danny had a 180-point lead on Chip entering the weekend. And dude, we're gonna have to get the beard back. This is continue. Like I do think it's like, has Danny cursed FSU, his own fantasy team, locks? I'm a little worried about like the shaving the beard curse. This is continuing. And Chip stormed all the way back, unless somehow, well, I guess there's some chance that Toafili or who do you got? Rodell and Malik Benson tonight.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna need a very, very big night from those two for Danny to come back here, and maybe he can. I don't know, but Chip throwing up a cool 300 points. Chip, who carried you to this?
Yeah, all right. So here's what has.
We kind of want to use this segment to talk about like standout players that we maybe don't hit every week in like in team and coach discussion.
Yeah, what has paid off big time was the commitment to stacks. Okay, like when you decide that Jackson Dart and Trey Harris are going to be a formidable duo, then Dart goes out there, throws for 418 and 5 touchdowns, while Trey Harris pulls in 179 of those yards on 8 catches with 2 touchdowns. Also being able to get in on some of that Dylan Gabriel love with Tez Johnson paid off. Ollie Gordon was my 1-1 pick. Feels like that's just going to be a steady dose basically every single game that he's out there. Ollie Gordon finishing, with 1 receiving touchdown, 2 rushing touchdowns, 104 rushing yards. So 3 total touchdowns and $142 of total offense. I'm excited about the future though. I got my Deion Burks out there, but I got Cam Coleman. What we saw from Cam Coleman in week 1 for Auburn and those freshman wide receivers was pretty good. Also on the freshman wide receiver front, Ryan Williams, the freshman from Alabama, in a big start for Alabama's offense. Good gravy. Ryan Williams feels like something special. So those would be the MVPs from Team Inner Sandman.
I am so angry right now that I lost this matchup after this. You know who I'm most angry at? Shedeur Sanders, because if he wants to check out of that play late, at least hit it for the touchdown as my point total, and preferably hit one of my receivers that I got there, whether it was Will Shepard or LeJontay Wester. Like, come on, let's go. Probably the biggest mistakes in mine, how I didn't come up. Julian Fleming, where art thou? Like, I thought he was supposed to be the guy that was going to all this in, and I didn't know they had Wallace there that was going to step up and be that one. But Julian Fleming, did he get a target? We kept looking at that throughout the game.
I don't think he got a target.
Where is he? Like, what's happening? He was nowhere to be found. That was probably the most disappointing for me because I thought I was rolling with Brant Keithy and Cam Rising, that combo.
Well, yeah,
Casey was phenomenal.
Casey Concepcion got you started on Thursday.
Yeah, I had a lot of the early action that had me the early lead. I don't love that. I already hate this league. It sucks.
Chip, you mentioned having the Jackson Dart, Trey Harris stack. Imagine having a Noah Fafita, Teteroa McMillan stack, because those two, you morons, after I took Tet McMillan in the draft, you guys just let Noah Fafita sit there until late, where I just snapped him up and said, okay, I'll take that stack a couple weeks. They combined for 103.5 points against New Mexico on Saturday night while we were doing the show. Tet McMillan, 10 catches, 304 yards, 4 touchdown catches. And then Noah had, 422 yards.
Yeah.
His 4 touchdowns, all to Tet. And then he also ran for 10. So, yeah.
You also got in on the Jackson Arnold, like those.
My team is stacked, bro. I'm not going to lose.
Some of these point explosions against like FCS teams or lesser teams was just some fortunate scheduling there for sure.
Woody Marks running up the score just by half a point for me last night. I appreciate that dedication. Just got to get an extra half point.
Did you want him to go down or do you want him to score?
Oh, I wanted him to score. He's on my fantasy team.
Well, I mean,
I don't care about game situations. The game situation for me is I want points.
That was painful to watch. Like I was pretty sure you were going to catch me, and then that's like, okay, so McMillan's going to go for 300 yards. Thanks, appreciate that. I mean, I thought John Mateer going up 59, like 352 through the air, 5 touchdowns. He ran for 55 and also scored. So it's like State.
Hey, that's the Washington State quarterback for those at home who don't have John Mateer on the top of mind. I'm not talking smack about the CW All-Stars. I just feel like we need some context given the way that Oregon State, the Pac-2, Oregon State, Washington State are going to live their college football lives. Sometimes we gotta remind you and celebrate what those teams are doing.
Jalen Milroe.
Yeah,
like that. 200 passing, 79 rushing, 2 rushing touchdowns, 3 passing touchdowns. I mean, I'm expecting that every week. I think they're going to be mashing the rush button with Jalen Milroe a lot. I think Jalen Milroe could rush for 1,000. Like I think they're going to have to really hit that button quite a bit this year. Running back, Dylan Sampson, of course, for Tennessee, killed it for me. Receivers, though, we're going to have a little team meeting because Iron Manor for Stanford, okay. Chris Bell did nothing. Bernard for Bama did nothing. Burden, Missouri was scoring so fast on like defensive special teams in short fields. They pulled him pretty quick. Higgins and Hudson did love it, not much. Jordan Moore for Duke got like a bunch of targets and just couldn't score. Oklahoma State's got some nice receivers though. Like Owens and Presley that's a nice combo. I think an underrated combo. And so yeah, my team sucked this week and I lost to Tom, but Mateer, very good. And Milroe, I'm glad I picked him first round.
Speaking of disappointments at the wide receiver position, I know Danny, you had Julian. Where was Nick Harbor against Old Dominion? Did I miss something there?
I don't think he's very good. Like he doesn't start on an offense that looks terrible, so that probably says something about how good he is.
Come on,
like, I think he's big and fast, but I don't know if he's good as. I don't think he's like good at football.
That was
Olympics.
Yeah, that right.
I had Olympic fever.
Yeah,
it's a late round flyer on Nick Harbor.
Also, somebody said that South Carolina's new quarterback is playing like Joe Milton with rec specs, and that is actually pretty accurate as to what he looked like on Saturday.
Once again, our thanks to Fantrax, a little bit of I guess free advertising here. They have college fantasy, and the reason that we are excited about it is because they do allow you to have best ball, which means we don't have to manage rosters. We went through our entire draft. You can go listen to the episode, and then it automatically picks the highest possible combination based on the roster. We will continue to use this as a vehicle to highlight some of our favorite individual performances. Yeah, Bud, you also stacked Washington State by throwing Kyle Williams on the other side too, and he ended up stepping up. So this Washington State stack might be the sleeper of a Power 5 asterisk only draft that we've got right here.
Oh, do they play New Mexico? Because if so, they're going to make that Tet McMillan Fafita game look pretty similar because they'll throw it.
Can I just remind you guys that I tried to draft Travis Hunter and he wasn't available as a receiver? That would be my one complaint with the site.
Yeah, I know you had him on that sleeper list. The other three of us certainly would have never considered taking Travis Hunter.
Oh man.